Hello traders, FXPIPCOLLECTOR here. Today is Friday, TGIF, and today is the 26th of May. So welcome to today's live stream. Thanks for coming. As usual, I'm going to start off by looking at the US dollar DXY index. We do have, by the way, before we even get started, we do have that last dollar news of the week. We have that consumer sentiment, which is a fairly good news event, so we definitely want to watch out for that around 3 o'clock, which will be here while that comes out, so we'll definitely want to check that out. But we're going to do our full top-down analysis on the dollar indexes, and then we're going to use that analysis to help us figure out what we should be doing on all these other dollar pairs. And we'll probably have a time to look at a few yen pairs and maybe some oil and natural gas and a few other things also like Bitcoin. So let's get started right away. So as most of you probably already know, I still am looking at this right here as possibly a big wave A. This is possibly a big ABC of B, and this is a big uptrend for a possible ABC. Now if this is an ABC, then that means that this move up is a crutch into the downtrend, and that it's probably just going to end up continuing to make lower lows and lower highs. Hey Quizzy, hey Havziz, Alfonso, hey, how's everybody doing today? So let's take it down to the weekly. Let's head up to the dollar index. Now on the weekly, I still think this is a downtrend, probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1, but I have this labeled as a possible wave A also. Then I think we have an ABC that we're forming right now, and I think this trend needs to continue. It's probably going to end up looking something like that, possibly an ABC of 2, before it ends up going down to make a continuation of the downtrend. Now, like I said, I think it's going to be a 1, 2, and 3, but if it proves me wrong by making an ABC, which would look something like this, then I will definitely be okay with changing my analysis and going long for the continuation of the uptrend. But for now in the pattern, we're going up for a wave C of 2 or possibly a wave C of B. Either scenario definitely doesn't matter to me either way, because it's pretty much the exact same strategy anyways. So let's head down to we're going to look at all the dollar pairs in a little while, busy. So let's go down to the daily time frame. To me on the daily, this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, most likely an A. This looks like a downtrend, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. This is 3 ways up for the B, and this is a C of B. So an A, B, C of B, and then it looks like we're now going up for a wave C, which I kind of expect the wave C to end up looking something like this, probably either a wave 2 or a wave B. Definitely doesn't matter to me whether it's a 2 or a B. Either scenario, I'm looking for longs on shorter time frames. So let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, ever since we entered this wave C or B, we've been making higher low, higher low, higher low the whole way up. We did have a push down today, but it really didn't break any structure. Our last structure level is really way down here. So it kind of looks like it's trying to make a little final wave 5 right now. So let's take it down to the 1-hour time frame, take a closer look at that. So I had this labeled as an ABC today, but that move up is looking pretty impulsive. It actually may end up being a wave 5. Now this move down looks more like a trend, but I guess now in hindsight I can see a little bit of a 3-way pattern there. It definitely did bounce off the 38.2, and it is making an impulsive move up. I think this is probably like the final attempt to continue the uptrend. It's probably going to be like a wave 5. It very easily could go up to the 61.8, but I do think that we're definitely due for a bigger correction. It obviously isn't happening yet, and the trend is still up, and it is still moving up. So until we have some sort of a breakdown, at least a break of this low right here, then I'm definitely still looking for longs on the shorter time frames for sure. So now that we have that kind of figured out, we think that we may be going out for maybe a wave 5 on the US dollar. I don't think it's going to be the end of anything, but it does look like a wave 5, probably just like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the trend that starts right here, which means if it does end the trend, then it's probably going to make another correction, probably about the size of this, which that's a pretty big correction. So we definitely are not going to want to wait until this correction is over to trade again. We may end up looking for some shorts in a downtrend until the correction is over, or shorts in a correction, that is. So now let's go and check out some of these other dollar pairs, see if we can figure this out. So if we think that the dollar is going up for a 5, then these dollar pairs may be going down for a 5 also. So let's start off with the euro dollar. Now the euro dollar I still think is very likely that it is in a wave C. We are approaching this 78%, and I've been saying for quite some time now that I think the 78% or possibly the 100% are going to be one of the two levels where we have the end of a correction, like the end of this wave C. But until I actually see a break of structure up, which really could happen at any one of these three levels, that I am definitely still looking for shorts in a downtrend, especially on the shorter time frames. So let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, we got a lower high. Looks like we're trying to make a lower high right now also. Like I said, it kind of looks to me like it's a wave 5 from this last end of a correction right here. This is probably going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of a trend that started right here. So if that's the case, then after that we're probably going to have a bigger correction, which would be a correction to this whole move down, and then probably another push down like that. So I still don't really see any reason to think this trend is over, so I'm definitely going to continue to do shorts. Yeah, we'll look at the S&P 500 today too. I think we'll have time for that. So going down to the 1-hour time frame. On the 1-hour time frame, this move up was a little tricky because it definitely looks like a trend. That's like a 5-way pattern up right to the 50% Fibonacci level. It definitely looks like a trend, but it was a little on the corrective side, and when it made that a big impulsive turn, it was pretty obvious that it's trying to go down again. I think it's a 4. I think this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1. This is like an ABC of 2. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 3. This is an ABC of 4, and we're currently going down for that wave 5. Most likely. That means that if that's true, then it might just go down near these lows and then turn back up and make a bigger correction like I was showing on the dollar index. So we need to keep an eye on that. We do have that dollar news coming out pretty soon, so that may be what causes this to end of wave 5. Let's head down to the pound dollar. So on the pound dollar, let's head back up to the daily time frame. The pound dollar is very similar to the euro dollar. I still think this is most likely a downtrend, could even be a wave C. Doesn't look to me like the trend is over. I think it's more likely to go down to one of these lower fib levels, probably eventually look something like that before it ends up continuing the uptrend. So let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, this is where we can start to see the lower highs the whole way down. We have a very impulsive move up right here. A lot of the other dollar pairs look like they're trying to make a wave 5, but with how strong up this most recent move is, I don't think this is going to have the power to go down. It's probably more likely in a wave B right now, and then it's going to go up eventually and make a C. I still think it's going to make a lower high from this, a lower high, and then end up continuing the downtrend probably next week. So let's head down to the 1-hour time frame. So 1-hour time frame, like I said, this move up is very impulsive, so I don't really think it's going to just continue the downtrend. I mean, it definitely could. Things like that have happened, but I think it's probably more likely it's going to actually go back up maybe towards the end of the week or the beginning of next week and make a wave C, ABC correction. And then maybe it'll bounce off to 78 or to 61.8 and then end up continuing the downtrend next week. So let's head down to the Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar definitely looks like it's trying to make another push down for sure. So let's see, on the daily time frame, this one looks to me like it's got a long ways to go down. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably like a wave 1 or possibly an A. This is an A, B, C, probably a wave 2 or possibly a wave B. And this looks like it's a wave C or possibly a wave 3, which maybe it might even be more likely to be a wave 3. But either way, it looks like it has a decent amount of downside potential left. So let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, I think this is also trying to make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 type thing going on, and it's probably going to end a trend that started right here, and then probably go up and make a correction, and then later on, maybe next week, continue that downtrend. So 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame, we definitely are turning. Maybe if we move our fib up here, will it be bouncing off a level? No, not really. So not really much of a fib bounce right there. C. So this one also kind of looks like it's trying to make a wave B. So we do have to be a little cautious about this move down. It may end up recovering and actually going back up again. The euro dollar and some of the other dollar pairs that look like they're going to go down and make a wave 5, but it's a lot of the dollar pairs like the pound and the Aussie look like they're not going to make it down there, and that they're more likely to make like a B and then go back up for a C, probably up to one of these fib levels. So let's keep that in mind also. Let's keep going down. Now the Kiwi looks like it could definitely go down and make a new low. The Kiwi is very similar to the Aussie, except for the Kiwi is a little weaker to the downside right now. Looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1. Looks like an A, B, C, like a 2. And it looks like a 1, 2, and we're in like a 3. Eventually it's going to make a 4 and a 5. So this definitely could be a 1, 2, 3, or it could be an A, B, C. We don't really know for sure, but luckily it doesn't matter to us at this point. Wave C is likely to end at one of these fibs. A wave 3 is likely to go down to one of these lower fibs. So either way, we should have a decent amount of downside potential still, and either way, we should just be able to continue to look for shorts on shorter time frames. Going down to the 4-hour time frame, really, you can see how strong this was down ever since that Kiwi news that we had this week. It does kind of look like it's trying to make like a wave 5 shape right there. So we may actually be getting ready to make a bigger correction, maybe into next week, and then another continuation of the downtrend. So let's keep going down to the 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame, this one actually did make a more of a 3-wave shape than unlike a lot of the other dollar pairs, which is why to me this looks like a 3-4-5, that 3-4-5 shape that you see at pretty much the end of every trend. So it looks really to me like a 1, 2, and then this is all a 3, and then we're in a 4 and a 5. Probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 from the end of this correction back here. So there is definitely a possibility this could go up and make a bigger correction, and then actually next week sometime end up continuing the downtrend. So let's head down to the, well, we're already on the 1-hour time frame, so let's go check out the US dollar Canadian. See what's going on with that. So the US dollar Canadian, wow, look at that. That thing's really recovering. So the US dollar Canadian, let's head up to the monthly time frame. The daily time frame, that is. So on the daily time frame, I think there's a good chance this is the end of an ABC right here. It looks like to me almost a perfect downtrend, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of C. Then we have impulsive up, we have a break of structure, and then we have 3 ways down again. And then we have a little bit of a higher low, and it's been trending up ever since. So I still think this trend is up. I still think it's more likely to just end up continuing the uptrend, making those higher highs and higher lows. And I am kind of rushing through these a little bit because we do have news coming out in just over 15 minutes. So we definitely want to be ready for the news when it does come out. So we do have a turn to the downside. So far it hasn't broken any structure yet. Even if it does break this structure, I don't really think that necessarily tells us anything except for this section is over. Most likely if it does break that, it's probably still going to be a correction, and it will probably still end up continuing the uptrend. 1-hour time frame, that does look like a big turn right there. It's really struggling. It did bounce off to 78% almost perfectly, so it probably is going to go down and break this structure, honestly. It's probably going to end up doing something like that and then end up continuing back up. So US dollar Swiss, yeah, this is one that I entered today. I don't really know if it's going to be a good trade or not. I got a really tight stop loss, so I'm not too worried about it, but it did make 3 waves down, and it did have a break of structure down, and then an impulsive turn back up. It does look like possibly the end of a correction, so we're going to have to see what happens at that news. I still think there's a good chance the news will cause the dollar to go up a little bit, but I think there's a good chance that it is going to be like a final push for the US dollar. Yeah, we'll take a look at oil, definitely. We'll take a look at oil, probably natural gas also. So US dollar yen, that was an awesome one to trade today. Let's get rid of that fib for now. Let's go back up to the daily. Oh, it is definitely breaking out of this fib level. I've been saying for quite some time that this may actually turn into a wave 3, and if it does, it definitely doesn't matter to me because I'll be looking for longs on shorter time frames in a ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 looks like an A. 3 waves down looks like a B. And now we're definitely trending up for what looks like it still could be a wave C. If it is a wave C, then you'll see a break of structure to the downside, most likely at one of these last 2 Fibonacci levels before it ends up continuing the downtrend. If it's not a wave C and it does keep on stretching out, because like I've been saying in my US dollar yen videos, the yen really all the yen pairs look like they have a long ways to go to the upside, and this one very easily could just keep on stretching out. And if it does, it definitely isn't going to bother me if I was incorrect about this being a wave C, because I'll just continue to be looking for longs. So if it never ends a trend, then I will never stop looking for longs, and I'll just keep on making money the whole way up. Going down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see how strong this trend has been pretty much the whole way up, and it continues to make higher lows. Every single one of these is a higher low, so really, really nice looking trend trades, and I don't really see any reason to think it's over yet. I would just continue to look for longs in an uptrend. 1-hour time frame, it's breaking out of this high. It looks strong. Definitely no reason to think it's over. This correction was definitely not the clearest, but it looks a little too much like a trend. But the fact that it made a higher low the whole way up is very, very clear on the higher time frames that we are trending and that the trend may not be over. It really looks like the trend may not even be over now, so I'm definitely still going to continue to look for longs in an uptrend, especially on these sort of time frames for sure. So what's going on with gold? Ooh, gold really looks like it's in a wave B. I don't think gold's gonna make another push down today. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 almost too. Like I've been saying for quite some time now, this possibly could be a wave C. So if this does go up and if it does break structure on the daily, that's pretty much going to prove to me that it's a wave C. This is an irregular A, B, C. And if that's the case, then this thing could very easily just end up continuing the uptrend. Now, one thing we have to remember is we have that consumer news this week, but then next week we have non-farm payroll right at the beginning of the month, actually. So I am definitely interested to see how these dollar pairs end those monthly candles. And then Monday is a holiday pretty much everywhere. It's Memorial Day in the US, and then in the UK they have the holiday, in Europe and in Switzerland. So there's a 3-day weekend for most people. So we'll see what happens if I make videos or not. It's definitely going to be a slow day on Monday. So going down to the 4-hour time frame, we definitely have a turn up right here. I think there is possibly a chance this could go up and take out structure, but until it actually does do that, I am definitely going to continue. I am definitely going to continue to look for shorts in a downtrend. Yeah, I don't know. There's really no good answer. The US dollar Canadian, I think, could have been okay too, but it doesn't look like it's... They might still be okay. We'll see what happens at the news in a few minutes. Let's head back down to the 1-hour time frame. Now, the gold really looks like an either a wave A or possibly a wave 1. This looks like it's making 3 waves down, either a wave B or possibly a wave 2. Then it really looks like it could go up and either make a C, which a wave C would go out. Wave C would end up looking something like that and then continue to downtrend, or it's going to make a wave 3. A wave 3 will just keep on making higher highs, higher lows, and then if it goes up and breaks this structure, that would pretty much prove to me that this is the end of a wave 5 of C on the longer time frames, and at that point you definitely want to start looking for longs in an uptrend. The news is in about 10 minutes, so we'll be here watching the news together. And we'll find out what's going to happen with those dollar pairs together right now in about 10 minutes, actually. It still looks good. I mean, it's definitely not invalidated yet. The US dollar Swiss is definitely not. Everything still looks pretty good. The euro dollar looks pretty good. The dollar index definitely looks like it's making a wave 5. Like I said, I think there's a good chance this is going to make like a wave 5 and maybe turn back down. So I am definitely going to exit my trade, probably somewhere near these highs. If it makes it all the way back up here, that's probably going to be my exit on my dollar trade. Same thing with the Canadian. If it makes it all the way up here, I'll probably exit someplace around there. This is just like a little, day trade, like a 3 or 4 hour day trade that I was looking for. So anyways, let's go back to the yen pairs for a few minutes and while we're waiting for the news, because those babies are moving. Very, very clear entries. We're just going to skip through the 1 hour time frames for now. Very, very clear. Look at this. 3 waves down. 50% Fibonacci. Nice impulsive up. That was a very, very clear entry. Definitely no reason to think these trends are over on the longer time frames either. So very, very clear entry. Pound dollar. This is another one I traded today. I actually got out not long ago. I think I got out right around there just because I knew I was starting my live stream soon. But definitely a very clear entry. 1, 2, 3 waves down, impulsive up. Very, very nice looking entry. Very, very clear. The Aussie yen broke structure. That pretty much proves to me that this whole move down is over. And if this is a wave C, then this very easily could now start trending back up. So you may want to start looking for longs in an uptrend on that one. Now the Kiwi, for some reason, is different. This one definitely made 3 waves up. It made a lower high, it made a lower high, and now it looks like it's going back down. So the Kiwi, for some reason, the Kiwi is very weak right now for some reason. But really, if you were paying attention to that one, the fact that it has not broken structure to the upside, hopefully you would have been able to recognize 3 waves down, another wave up, lower high, impulsive down. I don't think it's going to go very far. It might just go back down near these bottoms, if that. But that was definitely a very clear entry. US dollar Canadian was also not quite as clear as some of the other ones because it had an irregular wave B, but that's definitely an ABC correction right there. Look at that, ABC. I know one of my members on Patreon has been trading the heck out of this thing and was telling me that he made 10% or something just this week on this thing. So, I still got my L there from earlier. Now the US dollar Swiss definitely looks very, very nice to the downside. Then we have impulsive up. This was also a very clear entry today. All the yen pairs are just very, very nice trend trades. I mean, pretty much every yen pair, you zoom out a little bit, it's just nice, clear trend trades on all of them. The Aussie Swiss, I normally don't cover that, but a lot of my members aren't really requesting anything like they normally do, so we can look at it real quick just for a couple of minutes and see what we see while we're waiting for the news. Oh yeah, this one still looks like it's going down. So on the monthly, it's weekly, definitely down. Daily, as you can see, we're making lower highs the whole way down. Definitely still in a downtrend, no doubt about that. 4-hour time frame. The fact that we're going down and that this right here is almost definitely the end of an ABC correction. This is probably a 1, this is probably an ABC of 2, and we're probably still in a wave 3. So I think it's going to break these lows. I think it's in a wave 3, and I don't think that it is. Yeah, we're going to look at the S&P, definitely. So I don't think this trend is over, so I would definitely still be looking for shorts in a downtrend. Kind of looks like it's trying to make a correction right there. So I am definitely still looking for shorts on this one, no doubt about it. So it looks like a wave 3 on the longer time frames. We just barely, probably not even 1 minute ago, looked at all the yen pairs. The yen pairs all had an awesome entry, which really, if you tried to enter now, you'd be chasing it, but that was almost a perfect entry right there. This is one of the ones that I traded today also. Real nice trade right there. Nice entry, nice perfect ABC correction. So I definitely wouldn't enter now. I would definitely wait for another pullback, another 3-way pullback for an entry, but definitely very, very clear entry. So let's see, what time we got? We got less than 5 minutes until the news comes out, so we definitely want to make sure we're paying attention to that because we don't want to miss that dollar news. It's kind of a good news event. We might have time to look at oil. Now oil, let's go back up to the daily. Oil is looking very, very corrective. My original thought on oil was that it was going to go up and do this. So yeah, my original thought was that this is what's going to happen on oil, which it still seems very, very likely. It just really, really looks very corrective as of right now, but as we go down to a sort of time frame, it is definitely making higher highs and higher lows. I was almost thinking today that this could possibly be an ABC correction this morning when my members forecast I put this, but the fact that it turned at the 78% fib level, the fact that it made another higher low, this very easily could just keep on drifting up. It might just be a little choppy for some reason, but it still looks like it could end up being a 1, 2, 3. So I marked this as an ABC, but really unless it breaks that low right there, that pretty much it neglects the idea of that actually being an ABC. Especially, look at it, it's very strong to the upside. It did make 3 waves down too, 1, 2, 3 waves right to the 78.6, and then 1, 2, higher low is an indication that a trend is over, and it kind of looks like it could be in a wave 3, and it kind of looks like it could just keep on going up. The fact that it made another higher low is what really makes me think that it is going to just continue to drift up. Now, oil made a very soft correction right here, but if you look back here, that's definitely an ABC right there, and look how soft that one is. This is definitely an ABC right there, and look how soft to the downside that is. Very, very, very strong corrections. So I guess oil, if you makes very strong corrections for some reason. Oh yeah, natural gas did make another plunge down, didn't it, Ricky? Yeah, that kind of sucks. Natural gas. Oops. Let me go back up here and get rid of all these things on the longer time frames. Hold on, just bear with me. So natural gas, I've said it many times, it is a very tricky pair. I do kind of like it because it makes nice looking ABC corrections as long as you continue to go with the flow, but it's kind of tricky on these longer time frames because it keeps looking like it needs to go up to do something like this, and then do that to make that 3, 4, 5. But it really does not want to give up on that downtrend. It kind of sucks, but it's true though, I guess. And now that it's stretching out, it almost doesn't even look like an ABC anymore, does it? It almost looks like it's trending down again. So somebody else was mentioning this also, possible alternative count. A, B, and then this is actually a C. And then the fact that we broke structure down, I think may actually confirm that this is an ABC. I was thinking that it would turn at the 50% today, and it would go up, and it would break structure and continue the uptrend. But now looking at it closer, and now looking at this shape on the zoomed out a little bit, it looks like an ABC. We just broke structure to the downside, which confirms that this wave is over. If that wave is over, then that's probably the end of a wave C, and it probably will just keep on going down. So unfortunately, unless this thing within the next couple hours just goes up and does that and breaks structure, unless it does that, I would say that the trend may just keep on going down. It definitely could still be a wave C, but I would definitely want to see a break of structure to the upside before I would believe that. Because with that break of structure to the downside right here, which it did break right here, but it didn't hold below structure, and now it is starting to hold below structure. But if it does turn back up, I would say that that is a rejection of structure, and that it still is the end of an ABC, and that it still could just keep on going up. But unless it does that within the next hour or two, I would say that the trend has probably turned down, and it may just even keep on going down. Unfortunately, this may not be right. And like I said, I was wondering about this also as an alternative count. I definitely do see an A, B, C shape right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Break of structure. If this holds below structure, that's going to confirm to me that this is the end of an ABC correction, and it's probably going to go down again. So I guess natural gas just does not have the power to continue the uptrend for some reason. So we only got... what do we got? We got about a minute before the news comes out. Let's switch back to these dollar pairs. Looks like they're going to make a wave 5. Maybe it'll touch that 61.8 before it actually pulls back. Or maybe it'll just keep on trending. We'll have to see. Like I said, hopefully it does. I got a little burnt on a euro dollar trade today, but I had a good trade on the pound dollar, which kind of almost evened it out. And if this does go up a little bit more, then I'll still end my week ahead. So I'm definitely hoping that the dollar will at least go up to here, so that way I can get out of my trades and be ahead for the week. So there we go. We got about, not very long at all, about 20 seconds. It definitely looks like it's going to go up a little bit more just to finish off maybe a wave 5. But we'll see. Sometimes those do make lower highs. Like I said, I think there's a good chance it could be like a final wave, so it definitely could turn down very, very shortly after the news. So let's see. It's probably not going to be a huge move out. Yeah. Let's see. We definitely got to give it a few minutes. It's what is it again? It's the consumer sentiment, right? Yeah, consumer sentiment. It was positive for the dollar, a little bit positive for the dollar, but that definitely doesn't mean anything to me. I see news all the time that is positive, and then it just takes a nosedive, so that really does not mean a thing to me that the news came out positive. So we definitely want to give it a few minutes and see what happens. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it does go down, But I am definitely hoping to see one more little final push up to here, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, no big deal. It definitely looks like it should, especially with that positive news that just came out. Euro dollar kind of looks like it should just make one little push down just to finish off that trend and then probably turn back up. Yeah, pound dollar, kind of the same. Kiwi dollar is already almost down there. US dollar Canadian. Yeah, see, that turned out pretty good, the US dollar Canadian trade. US dollar Swiss, not really doing too much. This is the one I entered. Yeah, because it made 3 waves down with a break of structure and it was at a fib level. But I think there would have been some better choices, like the US dollar yen would have been a much better choice. US dollar Canadian may still be a better choice, and the Kiwi I think would have been a better choice also. Maybe even the euro dollar. And gold, gold really looks like it wants to go up if you ask me. I mean, that looks like a trend, followed by a correction, followed by a trend. So this one kind of looks like it's ready to go up. That's why I feel like the dollar is like really just on its last little leg up. I feel like the dollar is going to make a turn probably within the next hour or so. So let's give it a few minutes and see what happens. There's no point really sitting here staring at it. We're not going to change anything. I do think we're going to push up one more time, so that way maybe even up to the fib level, maybe take out this high just a little bit, and then turn down, take out structure. I think that's the most likely thing to happen today, and then we'll probably make a correction next week right up until non-farm payroll. So let's see, what else do we got to look at? We're going to go look at the stock market, I think, right? Go look at the S&P 500. See here, yeah, let's go check out the S&P 500, and then we'll circle back to these dollar pairs in a few minutes here. See what happened with that. I think that's what it was right there, the S&P 500. It's going up, isn't it? I keep saying that the S&P 500 is going to go up to at least break this high right here. I think it's going to look something like that, and then it's going to go down like this. A, B, and C. So, I don't know, it kind of looks like 3 waves up right there, though. I think there's a good chance we may actually go down and finish a C and then go up and finish up the uptrend. I don't really trust that move up. I think that move up is a correction to the move down. This is a trend, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This looks like a correction. I think there's a good chance this is going to turn down like this, and this is probably going to be an A over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A, 1, 2, 3 waves up for the B, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably, let's see, maybe it already made a higher low here. I don't think it would make sense if it did this. Maybe it would. If it went down, made like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of C, and then turned back up. Definitely seems pretty likely that that could happen, actually. We'll see. Looks like a possible correction. Yeah, I think that's going to be a correction. I'm pretty confident in that. I might have a little bit of a bias because I do expect the dollar to go up a little bit more. So we are passing this fib level, so let's see if it reverses and respects that fib level or not. Or if it just keeps on drifting up. It definitely could keep on drifting up. The trend is definitely still up on the higher time frames. And we do have a 1, 2, kind of an ugly trend, but it is a trend. We definitely have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shape right there. So I'm definitely bullish on the S&P 500 still. And I guess it definitely could continue up. I just don't like the 3 waves up right there. That 3 waves up makes me think that it is going to go down again before it goes up. So be careful with that if you are in any longs. It really does look like it wants to try to go down again before it does go back up. So definitely be cautious on that. Let's see. What else do we gotta look at today? I think it is Friday, so luckily We only got a few hours before the market closes, about 7 hours actually, so I guess we got quite a few hours. Let's see, I don't really see any more requests from my Patreon members, so I guess if anybody in the chat has something they would like me to look at, let me know, and I'd be happy to look at it for you. See if there's anything anybody wants me to check out for them today. Yeah, see, the dollar news was positive, and the dollar just is itching to go down. That's why, for me personally, I really do not care. I honestly do not care whether the what the news is. I want to know when this news is coming out, but as far as these numbers over here, I don't really give a crap at all about these numbers. I just want to know what time the news is, and then I want to know what the news is. But as far as these numbers over here, they are useless to me because the market often does the opposite of what the news tells you that the market should do. So definitely be careful with trading news events like that. Yeah, we can check out that, I guess. Why not? Doesn't really look too convincing anymore that it is a wave C, honestly. Yeah, look at it on the daily. It looks like it just wants to go down again. Could this possibly be an A right here? I was wondering that too. Could that possibly be the A, and this is possibly like an A, B, C, or B? I can see a few different possibilities on this, and then that's a C. And then it goes down and makes a wave 5. That could be also. And the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That could definitely be possible. Like I said, this oil and natural gas is tricky, even for me. I've never actually traded these things, but I do like them because they make almost perfect three-wave corrections. That's almost a perfect three-wave correction. That's almost a perfect correction. Even this right here is almost a perfect correction. There's just a ton of three-wave corrections, but it's definitely a very tricky pair. So what we should do probably for a projection, well, I guess we can just do an overlap. So let's put this from here to there, and then project it off of there. And then let's see if we got some overlaps on that one. Oh, whoops. What did I just do? Oh, I changed pairs. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, we definitely have a little bit of an overlap here. This is definitely a trend. There's no doubt about that. And this is definitely a correction. Honestly, it kind of looks to me like it's in a wave 3 at this point. It probably is just going to keep on going down. Probably eventually make a 3, 4, and 5. Unfortunately, like I said, I was thinking it was a wave C today, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's the case anymore. We do have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there, I guess. We do have 3 waves and kind of equal type waves right there. So like I said, if within the next hour, if it turns up, I would definitely believe that it's a wave C. But if it doesn't turn up and it continues to go down, at that point, you're going to have to say it's definitely a wave 3. And that ABC I was showing on the longer time frames is probably exactly what's going on. Probably ABC, or this right here is the ABC, which I think could be possible too, because this is definitely a trend, and this is definitely a trend. So those are definitely 2 very clear trends. That could be an A, this could be a C, and this is a trend also. And yeah, actually, I think that now now that I look at it again, that probably is the case. That's an A. This is 3 waves up for a B. This is a downtrend for the C. So yeah, I think I got it figured out now. This is an A, this is an A, B, C, a B. And then this is an uptrend for the C. It had an irregular wave C, because the wave C made a lower high. That's kind of the part that threw me off. Now we're probably going down for a final wave of wave 5. I think that probably is most likely a 3, 4, 5 right here. Probably a 3, 4, 5 of 3 still too. So if anybody wants me to look at anything before we go back and check out the dollar in a few minutes, see if anything's going on with that, definitely let me know. Yeah, it is Friday. I can tell it's Friday, yes, so I'm definitely ready to start my weekend. And it's not going to be too long after this live stream before I'm ready to call it a week. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. It's awesome because it makes some really awesome corrections, but it's a pain in the butt. So Monday's a holiday, so honestly, I probably am going to take Monday off. I think I'm ready for a 3-day weekend, to tell you the truth. I'll definitely still do my members forecast for my paying Patreon members. Like I've mentioned, if you haven't already, definitely join my Discord channel. It's 100% free to join. No obligations to pay a dime if you do not want to. But I do a members forecast every single morning for my Patreon members, where I tell everybody what time frame that I'm watching for entries and what direction I'm looking to trade in on all the dollar pairs and all the JPY pairs, including oil. And if a key has her way about it, there's be natural gas too, which maybe. Like I said, I haven't really decided. I don't really want to give myself too much work. Yeah, so let's see. So every single morning before the London session, I do the members forecasts, and on all the dollar pairs, all the yen pairs, including oil at this point. So definitely, if anybody's interested in that, check out the Patreon link, or if you just want to join my free Discord, then check that out too. So in a ways, I guess we'll go back and check out the dollar pairs. I don't see any really more requests or anything, so let's go back and see that's going on with those dollar pairs. Looks like I still think the dollar is going to make that final push up. Yeah, it's struggling. It may be about done, honestly. I don't think it's done like the uptrend is done, but it definitely could be about done for the day. Let's see. Yeah, we'll look at gold. We're going to look at all the dollar pairs one more time. The way that this looks, though, it just really looks like it wants to go up again. Let me go down some more and see if we can see if there's like an ABC shape there. I guess there kind of is. A little bit of a three-wave shape right there. 1, 2, 3. Not very clear, but it's definitely a little bit of a three-wave shape there. The fact that throws me off is that this looks like a trend. If this right here does turn out to be 3 waves and it goes down and breaks structure, I would say that this is a wave B and that we're definitely heading down. So we'll have to see. Like I said, sometimes you have to give the news a little time to see. If it does continue to pull up, then it probably is going to be like a wave 5. And this is just a motive wave correction for the wave 4, and then it makes a wave 3. Or it is a wave 3, 4, and 5 still looks like the most likely thing. But yeah, if this makes a higher low, and turns back up, then that's probably going to be a wave 5. If it doesn't, and it keeps going down and starts taking out the bodies of these candles, then I would say this is probably a wave B, or possibly even a wave 2. And that it's probably heading down and probably take out this low right here. Yo, dollar. Ooh, that kind of looks like 3 waves too, honestly. I may have to get out of my trade here in a minute because I don't want to experience another loser today. That definitely looks like 3 waves down, and it broke structure and then almost instantly rejected it, so that may be a clue that it's going up. Pound dollar doesn't really look quite so. Oh, the Aussie dollar definitely looks like that too. US dollar Canadian, look at that, it's 3 waves up. Yeah. It's not looking too good for the dollar going up anymore. It looks like the dollar's about done with its uptrend for now. Probably, I think next week is probably going to be dollar down for most part of probably a good part of the week. And then maybe non-farm payroll will cause another push up on the dollar. Like I said, it's not really 100% on anything right now. It definitely could go down and do that final push before it goes up, but I think the dollar is probably going to go up, down. The dollar is probably going to go down, and this is probably going to go up. Whether or not it makes one little push down and then goes up or not, I guess we'll just have to watch and see. But I do think that the euro is going to end up going up. I think that the pound is going to end up going up also, probably up to one of these fib levels, and it could even go up and break structure and make a bigger correction. If you remember that on my higher time frames, I'm definitely still very bullish on all these pairs, so I still think that eventually we're going to have to start switching back and start looking for longs again for sure. The Aussie, probably same thing, probably is going to end up going back up and looking something like that, at least, maybe even bigger than that. The Kiwi actually looks like it made a wave 5 already. It kind of looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. US dollar Canadian. Yeah, that one's really struggling. I don't know. We'll see if that ends up being a good or not. It still ain't really invalidated anything. But like people say, Friday is a profit-taking day, and the dollar's been going up all week, so it doesn't surprise me that the dollar is like pretty well done with its uptrend. US dollar Swiss, kind of the same thing. It made a little bit of a double top. So we'll see what happens. We got to give it a little bit of time. It's not really invalidated yet that it ain't going to do that, but even if it does go up, I think it's going to be like a final push before it goes down. So nothing is really invalidated yet, but it's pretty dang close to being invalidated. So the US dollar yen is even starting to turn down. That does kind of look like that 3, 4, 5 shape too that you see at the end of pretty much every trend. Probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. It's probably going to spend pretty much most of next week making a correction to this last move up, I bet. Gold is going up too, I think. I even said that at the beginning of the meeting, that gold is probably going to end up going up. And honestly, from the picture on the daily time frame, I honestly think gold could make a bigger push up than most people are expecting. I really do believe that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bouncing off the 50% level. This is a downtrend right here, and this is very clearly 3 waves up. I think that gold could be an ABC correction, and if it goes up impulsively on this daily time frame, I would say almost definitely that's the end of a correction and that it's going back up. I know everybody thinks that gold's going back to 1800 and maybe even lower, but I really am still sticking to the idea that it is going to go up again, especially with the fact that it looks like a trend. This looks like 3 waves down, and then this looks like it's going to go up again. Maybe it'll be a correction. If it is, then we'll recognize that with an impulsive move down at a fib level. If it does do that, then I would definitely be ready to go short again, no doubt about it. But if it does go up and break this structure right here, then I would say that that is maybe the end of a wave C on the daily time frame. And if that's the end of a wave C, we definitely want to start going long, because my long-term target on gold is still $2,300 and maybe even a lot higher than that, honestly. I still think that gold is eventually going way up here, probably 23, maybe even higher, even though it looks like a wave 5. I'm starting to think that gold is going to be a risk-on currency for a lot of people, especially with everything that's going on. You know, next week the U.S. is maybe going to default on its debt if they don't figure stuff out within the next couple of days. So if the US does default, or if people think that the US is going to default, then things like gold is going to go up, the yen is going to go up, and the Swiss is going to go up, and probably Bitcoin might even go up too, because Bitcoin is a risk-on currency, which we didn't look at Bitcoin today. So let's go look at Bitcoin real quick. Yeah, Bitcoin is going up a little bit right now. It broke structure, but now it's still not holding below structure. And really, if this goes up and takes out that high, I'm going to say that that is definitely the end of an ABC correction right there. The fact that it's not holding below structure, and then if it goes up and breaks that structure, that's definitely the end of a correction, and that is definitely going back up. Which actually makes me even more convinced that gold is going to go up, because I think this is going to go up because money's going to be flowing there when the dollar is when the U.S. is in very, very close to defaulting on its debt. So yeah, the fact that that's not holding below structure makes me think that's heading back up. Maybe that is going to be a wave 3 that we were thinking originally. I was originally thinking this was a 1, 2, 3. Maybe end up looking something like that for either a big wave A or maybe a big wave 1 and then make a B and a C. Or make a 1, 2, 3. I still think the $42,000 area is my most likely area because we have this touch, we have that touch, we have a bunch of touches right there. Even the 61.8 though has something right there, has a resistance there, has a resistance back there. So I still think that one of these two levels is going to be very likely to be hit on Bitcoin. So we'll see. No, I don't trade Bitcoin either, but I do own a tiny bit of Bitcoin that I've just planned on holding. I don't really plan on doing much with it. I'll probably just hold on to it, whether it goes up or down. It's not really going to be a trade. It's more like a little bit of an investment. But if this goes up and breaks structure, I would say that's the end of a correction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That wave up, it kind of looks like a part of the wave B, though. This kind of looks like a wave B, though. So where's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 then? I guess this one didn't make a very nice trend either, so definitely has that 3, 4, 5 shape. I wouldn't be confirming anything until that takes out that high right there. Once it takes out that high, I would definitely start looking for longs and maybe even scaling into a couple longs. Yeah, we'll see. I would have my Fibonacci level measuring this move down. And if it does turn at one of these fib levels, like very impulsively like this, then we'll know that it's going back down. If it doesn't, and it just keeps doing this, which Bitcoin trades all weekend, so maybe it'll just spend the weekend drifting up and eventually take out this structure, confirming that this is the end of a wave C and just continuing the uptrend. So yeah, we're going on to about an hour. Let's go back to the dollar pairs one more time. Yeah, pretty much nothing is happening. Whole lot of nothing really. I think the dollar is going to start going down probably pretty shortly, probably within maybe even now. It looks like gold is getting ready to go up. Silver has already been going up. Is it pushing back up? Jesus. Don't get yourself trapped in that thing today. You don't want to make a bad situation worse. But man, it does, like I said, if it rejects this structure, if it rejects that structure level, then that's going to be a really, really good sign that it is a wave C. If it doesn't reject that structure level and it does end up starting to close down here, it starts to close candles down here and maybe even, down here, then I would say that's definitely not a wave C. So keep an eye on it. I mean, if it rejects this fib level, maybe it will go up. Maybe it still is an ABC correction. Just be careful. Yeah, I know. That's definitely a fun one. Oil? What's oil up to? Oil's still drifting up. Dollar's doing a whole lot of nothing. Yen basket's not really confirmed to be over yet. That looks like it could go further up. Yeah, I wouldn't even say that these yen pairs are confirmed to be over yet. It looks like they want to go up more. Oh, look at that. The JPY 225, the index or whatever it is. That one's going up pretty strong. What do we got menu on that one? That looks almost the same as the dollar. Look at that. It's like almost the same picture. Yeah, it's like almost a mirror picture right there. Look at that thing. What do we got on this? I haven't looked at this in so long. I don't think any of these labels are probably accurate. That's definitely a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is probably an irregular ABC since it continued the uptrend. This is the monthly time frame, but That does look like an ABC down, though. ABC down. It definitely looks like an ABC down, which would make you think that this is going to at least go back up to this high. Yeah, this one doesn't really look that convincing that the dollar's done going down. It looks more convincing that it's going to keep going up, honestly. Are you trading this one now, Menu, or just checking it out, trying to decide if you're going to trade it? So really, what I would do is I'd have my fib level measuring this push. Yeah, BOS, yeah. We definitely got a 38% bounce. Maybe this is going to go up a little more. I don't know. I wouldn't give up on the dollar yet because it's really not confirmed one way or the other. Oh, you're already long. Yeah. It's almost a mirror image of that dollar index, except for just a little different. Yeah, I would. It might be a good idea to be long on that, honestly. The thing that still, even the dollar index did it, but we still have what looks like a trend down. So unless that's a motive wave correction, which it probably is a motive wave correction at this point, then it probably is going to keep going up. Yeah. How's the spread on that? I'd have to check out the spread too, see how that works. It's probably not too bad. I'm sure it's more than some other pairs, but it's probably not too horrible. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my trades going for now. Keep an eye on them. Probably go out and get a coffee and espresso. Get some caffeine. Probably keep an eye on my charts for the next couple of hours, and then probably call it a week. I'll probably close whether I'm in profit or not. I'm definitely going to be closing my trades within the next couple of hours because I'm ready to call it a weekend, and probably a 3-day weekend, honestly. Like I said, I probably will not be making videos on Monday, but I will do the members forecast. So if anybody is interested in becoming a Patreon member, the link for that is in the description, and I'll put it in the chat. It's $49 a month, and it comes with a trading course, members forecast, educational information, and a whole bunch of other things. Nice, awesome, Menu. That's good. You might have found a new pair for yourself. Good deal. So if you're not interested in joining my Discord, my Patreon that is, then you can join my Discord 100% for free. No obligations to pay a dime if you do not want to. 100% free to join. So definitely check that out. If you are interested in learning more about my strategy, then you can join my Patreon. It comes with a trading course, a bunch of other information, members forecasts. So for everybody that is a Patreon member of mine, then I will do my members forecast on Monday. I will be in the chats probably on Discord, but I probably am going to take a 3-day weekend when it comes to these videos. I think it's about time for a 3-day weekend now that I know that it is a holiday on Monday. As everybody can see, it's a holiday in the UK, pretty much all of Europe, and in the US, and in Switzerland. So, and then Tuesday we got the better consumer confidence. This is a good news event right there. What do we got? We got CPI for the Aussie pairs next week at 2:30 a.m. my time. Definitely won't be awake for that. And then we have non-farm payroll towards the end of the week. Oh, we got CPI for the euro next week too. They're still predicted to be 7%. That's really high. And non-farm payroll. Oh, we got an Italian holiday that day too. So definitely keep an eye on those dollar pairs. Let's go back one more time just to look, because it is pulling back. It looks like the dollar is going to try to make that one little push. That one little push down or up. But I would definitely expect that it's probably not going to go too far at this point. Now, US dollar yen probably would have been one of the better trades of the day. I wonder what that would mean for gold, because gold really does look like it's getting ready to make a long. It's like almost a perfect 3 waves down. Gold really looks like it's going to push up today. Maybe once the dollar finishes messing around, it'll probably push up one more time. So I hope everybody enjoys their weekend, and yeah, I was just talking about that earlier. Everybody's taking profit. So definitely, I hope everybody enjoys their weekend. Definitely like and subscribe to my videos. And my next live stream is normally on Monday, but I probably won't have another live stream until Wednesday because Tuesday is my Zoom meetings for my Patreon members. Monday's a holiday, so I'm probably not going to do a live stream Monday. And so my next live stream on YouTube will be on Wednesday afternoon at the same time, same place. So as always, happy trading and good luck with everything.